Good afternoon, my dear J24 warriors. Your game is still up. It's not over yet, the battle. The last few, probably exams which are remaining, probably the second shifts or maybe, exams like IIT. So you should not let your guard down. Make sure you're full with fire, full on Josh, because if you let your guard down, then what will happen? Other students who are motivated will definitely cross over you, because right now the students who are still preparing for the exams are highly motivated students. They want to prove a point. They want to do really well. They want to pass out this year without taking a drop. So make sure you are, putting in your 100%. Yesterday, I created a session on what is IIT, how to prepare for it, what is the exam pattern, what is the cutoff, etc. I hope you have seen it. If you have not seen it, please check it out. Today, I am planning to take questions only, right? So, good afternoon. Hello, Priyansh, Saturu, Mohammed, Imran. Hello, SSR. Hello, Priya. Hello, Voice of Ashwin. Nice to see all of you over here. So, let me show you. The session is right over here, guys. Check this out. Where is it? Yes. Everything about IIT ISER last minute preparation guide along with the test series. Everything I have put it up right over there. Okay. So my name is Captain Shreyas. I am the physics master teacher. I am, teaching students for more than 13 years now. Graduate from NIT Nagpur with mechanical, and then I did my research in IIT Bombay. So a lot of students pass out under my mentorship and guidance every year. And I'm proud to say this, that many of my students are now IITians, NITians, BITSians, you name it. And it's not just tens and hundreds, it's now reached thousands and thousands. So make sure that you're following this channel for more such guidance by hitting the subscribe button, and also shower your love and support by smashing the like button, because that way YouTube will know that you are interested for examinations like these. All right. So let's begin with the class, and here comes the first question. And remember, guys, in the chats there is a pinned message for the IIT test series, 10 full syllabus mock tests for your preparation at the same level, all the 4 subjects: physics, chemistry, mathematics and biology. Yep, it's available for just 499. Yep, 499 rupees. Just check that out. Okay, ready, guys? Yeah, I was reading your comments from the previous video saying that, sir, my center is 400 kilometers away. What were they even thinking when they did that? I mean, and we guys keep blaming NTA. Papa, at least NTA gives the center at least couple of kilometers away. This is like next level, 400 kilometers, because not many people give this examination. Only the serious aspirants do give this examination. Okay. Yes, Surya, there is a batch coming for 2025. I hope you have seen the trailer. Something is coming up. Stay tuned on the channel. Here is the first question. Solve this. Consider a mixture of O2 and N2 at 27 degrees Celsius. Which of the following relationships is correct? Oxygen and nitrogen at the same temperature. Obviously, if they are same temperature and both are diatomic molecules, then their average kinetic energy should be the same, but their speeds will be different. In fact, the speed formula, if you remember, is a root of 3RT divided by M. 3RT divided by M. So clearly they have different molecular masses, oxygen and nitrogen. So that's why the speeds will be different. In fact, oxygen, guys, is 32, so more heavy, so less speed. Nitrogen is 28, so less molecular mass, so more speed. I think it should be option A, because the molecular mass of oxygen is more than the molecular mass of nitrogen. So more mass is less speed. Let's find out. Yes, it is option number A. It is option number A. Got it? Very good. Viryan, don't spam or else the admin will block you. I have already mentioned that we are launching a batch for 2025 very soon. Okay? Stay tuned on the channel. Right. Something amazing is coming up. You need to just keep your eyes open on the channel. Don't spam. The magnetic flux through a coil at a time t is given by phi naught cos omega t. So there is some small time interval. In that interval, if phi naught being a non-zero constant, at what time the magnitude of the induced EMF is maximum? The magnitude of the induced EMF. Let's try to solve this. See, you have to use Faraday's law because magnetic flux is changing. Only then differentiating flux will give me EMF. And EMF is nothing but minus d phi by dt. So it will be minus of the derivative of this term. Out of that, phi naught being a constant goes outside. I just need to take the derivative of cos omega t. So therefore, it will become minus, cos's derivative is minus sine. So minus sine omega t, and that omega also comes outside. So it will become just omega, and that phi naught was there outside anyways. Outside. So phi naught omega into basically sine omega t is your EMF. Now as per the given question, we want maximum EMF. If I want to make this maximum, obviously I have to make sine as maximum, and the maximum value of sine is 1. 1 is the maximum value of the sine function. Therefore, the inside term or the angular term should be 90 degrees, which is pi by 2. That is the first time it will be maximum. Therefore, the time will be pi divided by 2 times of omega, and this falls within this interval. This should fall within this interval, which is also correct. You can see that. So I think it should be option number C, which is pi by 2 omega, which is basically pi by 2 omega. You can see omega t is pi by 2. So if you see omega t, which is basically pi by 2, it is definitely more than 0, and it is definitely less than pi, which is matching with the given condition. So there also we don't have any issues. Yes, option C is correct. Very good, Priyansh. Very good, Dhruv. Amazing. Very good, Karupsami Marimuthu. Wow, nice. All right. So there is a current which flows through a cylindrical cable of length L and uniform cross-sectional area A. Okay, so there is current flowing through a wire of cross-sectional area A and certain length. The power is P1. Obviously, when current flows, loss of heat in the resistance, so there is power loss P1. You cut the cable into halves, the cross-sectional area and the current is the same. What will happen to the power? Clearly the resistance is changing. So if I know how the power is related to the resistance, my job is done. Think about it. Earlier, this was the case. The resistance was R because the length was L. Now it is exactly half. So the resistance will also be half. Also think about it. For the current of I, the power was P1. Now if the same current I passes through that resistance, remember power is nothing but current square multiplied by resistance. Current is the same, so power is directly proportional to the resistance. So resistance has become half, so the new power will be P1 by 2. As simple as that. Because the resistance became half, power will also become half times as the old power. So P1 by 2 is P2, that is option number A. Perfect, matching. Very straightforward question. The length of the question is very huge, which looks scary at times. And this is what happens in most of these exams. Sometimes the description or the diagram, can be very scary, but actually it is a very straightforward question then. Got it? All right. Thank you, Dhruv. Thank you so much. Obviously, if I have awesome students, the teacher will also be awesome. Okay. An artificial satellite is in a circular orbit which is moving around the earth and has a total energy of E0. The potential energy, I think this is like the most common question. In fact, it was asked in JEE also many times. So my dear students, the potential energy is always 2 times of the total energy. This is one thing that you should know. And the kinetic energy is the negative of the total energy. So the total energy was E0, and here it will be 2 times of E0. So the potential energy is twice E0. I think the question is on potential energy. If the question was on kinetic energy, then the answer would have been A. So right now for potential energy, the answer is 2 times of E0. This works not only for electrostatics but also for gravitation. If you have seen atomic structure, the same kind of formulas are over there. Even in gravitation for satellites, same knowledge is applicable. Okay, because the laws which are governing them are very similar. Inverse square law, gravitational law and Coulomb's law, inverse square laws. That's why it is valid over there. Okay, cool. No problem, Varium. Now, Here is the next question. Two cubes are of the same dimension but different materials with densities rho A and rho B. Cube A floats with some fraction immersed. When another thing is placed on it, then A is immersed completely, B is completely above. What is the ratio of the density? Okay, let's start with the diagrams first. So if I just take one cube, let's say the side length is h and fraction which is inside is eta. So eta times h is the height which is inside, which is basically inside that particular liquid, I can say. So in such a case, the buoyant force will be balancing the weight. The buoyant force is the volume which is submerged, which is eta h into the area of cross section, right? This is the volume into the density of the liquid into G. V rho G is the buoyant force. Volume is submerged. This is the area of the cross section into the height which is submerged. It is eta times h. Why? Because it was mentioned the fraction which is submerged is eta. So that is why I have put it over there. The weight is of the total object as such. So it will be the total volume, which is the height into the area. The total height is h, area is A, into the density of the solid is A into G. Now GG gets cancelled, AA gets cancelled, HH gets cancelled. So I am left with eta is equal to rho A divided by rho. That is what I get over here in the first scenario. Now let's make use of the second scenario. Now what happens is you are keeping one block over the other block and the other block is completely immersed, whereas the block on the top is completely outside. So the buoyant force is only on the lower block, but it is balancing the total weight of both the solids, correct? So I can say the buoyant force again I can say buoyant force is the weight 1 plus weight 2 of both the objects together. So the buoyant force only on this will be the volume, which is the area of the cross section into the height, that is the volume, into the density of the liquid into G. Weight of object 1 plus object 2 will be mg plus mg, but mass is density into volume. Each volume will be A into h and into density will give me mass into G, plus the second guy will be again A into h into rho B into G. Now A rho G, AHG and AHG is cancelling out everywhere. So I am left with rho is equal to rho A plus rho B. Just check this out. Rho A plus rho B. Everybody fine till this point? Very good. Now the thing is I don't want rho. So from this point, can you see that actually rho is a rho A divided by eta. Rho is rho A. Shift eta down, so put it over here. So it will be nothing but rho A divided by eta. Okay, and what I can do is I can take rho A on the other side is equal to rho B. Okay, so let's take rho A common. So it will be 1 minus eta divided by eta after the LCM is equal to rho B, and I want rho B by rho A. Rho A I shift it down. So 1 minus eta divided by eta is rho B divided by rho A. I think that is what is asked. So 1 minus eta by eta, that is option A. Yes, that is the correct answer. So little bit of manipulations are involved, but if you do not give up during the problem, you will reach till the end. If you feel like giving up, then obviously you will not be able to score marks in this question. Because sometimes it happens in these kind of questions, you do not know where to approach. It's okay. Take situation 1, take situation 2, whatever you can write. I framed it. I did not know how to proceed in the problem till I wrote few lines. I just used the first part. I got this relation. I couldn't do much after this. So I took the second situation. I just wrote the equation and then I saw rho was an unknown. So I used that rho from here and substituted it here. The moment I did that, I saw things just fell into place. Got it? Everyone? Cool? Awesomeness. Very good, Priyansha. The roof. Awesomeness. Can a NEET PCB student give this exam, but you need to give maths also? That's the thing. Okay. So all the 4 subjects are there, and especially in 𝐈SER and all, I would say you need a lot of mathematical aptitude even after entering the college. Yeah, that's the thing. Cool. So let's go to the next question on your screen. What do we have over here? Find the effective resistance between A and B. Okay, let me just create a duplicate for this. I hope you can see that right now we have R3R, 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 3 branches are there. One branch here, and one branch here. 1:3 ratio. This is like a Wheatstone arrangement. That means whatever is there connecting here and here is completely useless. So this part and this part is completely useless, whatever connects between them. So if you remove that part, let's see what do you get over here. This is gone. This is gone. And even this is gone. Can you see that? Yes. Now it's very straightforward, guys. It's like R and 3R are in series. So from A, you have one resistance here, then another resistance here, and another resistance here. All these are basically in parallel, and each one of them is 4R, 4R, 4R. So all of them are in parallel. R plus 3R is 4R, 4R and 4R. So basically the equivalent resistance between A and B, how much will it be? It will be basically 4R divided by 3. 4R divided by 3 is option number A. Yes, option number A is the correct option. If I have 3 equal resistances in parallel, the final resistance will be the original divided by the number of resistors. If they are in series, it will be original multiplied by the number of resistors. So it gets divided or gets multiplied if the resistors are equal, that is. Correct? Very nice. Awesomeness. Moving on to the next question on your screen. Consider the Bohr's model of the atom, where an electron of some negative charge revolves around a nucleus of charge plus C in an orbit of radius r. The electron has an orbital momentum 2h dash. The nucleus, h dash is basically your Hamiltonian kind of thing. So it is h by 2 pi. So the nucleus had a charge of plus 2e. What would be the radius of the orbit of the electron with the same principal quantum number? Okay, let's understand this question. So the angular momentum in that radius for that electron of a Bohr model is 2h dash. Angular momentum, remember, is nh by 2 pi, which is basically nh prime, and this itself is given by 2h prime. That means n is basically 2. The principal quantum number is 2. Now it is given that the principal quantum number is same, and it is a Bohr's model. And in Bohr's model, what happens? The radius is proportional to n square by z. Correct? N square by z. So R2 by R1 will be basically Z1 by Z2. That's it. Because n is going to be the same. It is clearly mentioned. Same principal quantum number. So I didn't even need this. So I feel this information is pretty useless. Okay, I feel that this information as of now is pretty useless. Let's try to solve this. Original Z is basically just E. The next Z is 2E. Is basically 2E. So it is 1:2 ratio. It is 1:2 ratio. So therefore R2 will be, R1, if I take it on the top, it will become R. R1 on the top will become R. So R by 2. So the new radius will be R by 2, which is option number D. No, it is not C. It is not A. Be careful. Yep. Avanashri, I hope you have seen the trailers, and I hope you are keeping a watch on our channel. So let me just show it to you. Something is cooking. Yeah, I hope you can see that right over here. Okay. So I hope you have seen that. And we also put up a video on how things came to an end for 2024. All right. So something is cooking. So stay tuned on this space. All right. Moving on to the next question on your screen. A ball is thrown up with some speed, h above the ground, eventually hits the ground with V. Gravity is G, no resistance. The average speed of the ball over its entire trajectory is. Okay, let's see. All right. 125 is just enough to get the lowermost IASER. Just check my yesterday's video. I have told clearly 190 is a safe score to get IASER Pune. Okay, 190 is a safe score to get into IISER Pune. The other IISERs come down to 170, 160, 140 also. Okay, but I feel you need to push yourself beyond that dhruv to get into the topmost IISER. Okay, so I think it is possible. You have 10 days, miracles do happen. Don't think how can I go from 125 to 190. It is possible. Okay. Hello Ifna. Alright, so let's start with the diagram first. Let's say I show it like this. This is U. It goes up, goes down, comes down, comes down, comes down, and hits like this with speed V. Okay, so it is hitting the ground right over here. Let me start marking the heights. This is basically H. This is basically H, okay. And let's assume this as H1, no harm in that. I will need it because the question is find the total average speed for the entire trajectory. For that, I will need the time. So let's find the time first. If I use final velocity is initial velocity plus acceleration multiplied by time, the first equation. Final velocity is minus v, initial velocity is plus u, acceleration is minus g, time taken is basically t. So taking gt on the other side, it is basically u plus v. Therefore, time is basically u plus v divided by g. This is the first thing that we got. That is the total time of flight. Okay, to find the speed, I also need the total distance traveled. Distance is h1 plus h1 plus h. So I need h1. So I think I can find h1. h1 is basically maximum height of a projectile when you throw it from the ground. So that is u square by 2g. So it is just u square divided by 2g. Number one. Number two, I also need this height. So for that again I use v final square. I will use basically v final square is v initial square plus 2 into acceleration multiplied by displacement. Final speed is v, initial speed is u, acceleration is negative g, displacement is minus h. So from this I can see h is basically v square minus u square whole thing divided by 2g. V square minus u square whole thing divided by 2g. That's it. So now I think it is a good time that we figure out. Oops. Yeah, it's a good time that we figure out the average speed. The average speed. So average speed will be the total distance, which is basically h1 plus h whole thing divided by the total time, which is 2 times of h1 plus h whole thing divided by the time. Time value we got it over here. It was u plus v divided by g. h1 we got it over here, which is u square by 2g. So it is u square by 2g over here. H value we just found it out over here. It was v square minus u square divided by 2g. Okay, so let's try to solve this. 2 cancels, g cancels. So I have u square by 2 plus, sorry, not by 2, u square minus v square minus u square divided by 2 whole thing divided by u plus v, which is, take 2 common, so 2 times of u square minus v square. Just check this out. Did I miss out something? V square minus u square by 2g. Yes, this is also fine. Oh, why did I put minus? This was plus suddenly. Yeah, v square minus u square. So sorry, this was plus, and divided by u plus v, and the 2 which was there as LCM came down below. Yeah, now 2u square minus u square is just u square. So u square plus v square, the whole thing divided by 2 times of u plus v should be the final answer. Is it there somewhere? I think it is there in option number B, I believe. Yes, it is option number B. It is option number B. So how did I think about this? I mean, you just again have to go with the flow. You have to think, for average speed, I need the total time. That's why I found out the total time. For average speed, I also need the total distance. So I need this height and I need this height. How do I find this height? By using projectile formula, and this height using kinematic equations. Just I happened to substitute. Coincidentally, it just came out. Understood, my dear warriors? Yeah. I don't think so, Infinity. If the deadline is over, they won't consider it. I mean, these things don't work. I mean, you cannot request or mail or anything. I'm so sorry, it's not possible. What about this? There are two shells, one is positive, one is negative. R1, R2 are the radii. How does the potential change with the distance from the center? Okay, think about it. Think about it. Yes, think about it. What will you do in such a case? First of all, I'll say, what will be the field inside and outside? Just think. Inside, the field is 0. That means the potential should be a constant value. Potential should be a constant value, but it will not be 0, 100%, because the radii are different. It will not be 0. It will be a constant and it will not be 0. Definitely. So option number D gets eliminated. Option number D gets eliminated. It could be A, B or C. Now, if you go completely outside, so let's say you are standing at this point, the potential will be both these shells will behave like point charges, KQ divided by R plus K into minus Q divided by R, which will make it 0. So the potential will be 0 complete. So that is also happening here. Forget this and this. Yes, it is 0. But I don't see why there should be a discontinuity over here. So this discontinuity will completely eliminate this particular option. This discontinuity, will completely eliminate this option. It is a differentiable function. It will be a continuous function. Okay, it will not change abruptly like this. Okay, because these are pure shells. Okay. Next thing, between these two points, what will happen is, between these 2 points, the potential will look something like this. Due to the inner charge, you are outside, so the potential will be KQ divided by small r. But due to the outer one, it will be minus KQ divided by the radius of the shell, which is R2. Now this R2 is a constant, this R is a variable. So it will be, a curve, because it is not straight line. For straight line, R should have been on the top. So it should be a curve. It cannot be a straight line. This has been eliminated. It can't be a straight line. It has to be a curve. So I think it is option number A. Yes, it is option number A. Is that okay? Everybody understood why it is so? Okay. We are outside the inner shell. That's why KQ divided by R. This capital Q charge behaves like a point charge. This negative Q charge is on the outer shell, and you are inside that outer shell. So the potential is KQ by the radius of the shell. Everywhere is constant. So minus KQ by R because of the negative charge. And R2 is the radius of that outer shell. This is constant, this is not, but this is inversely proportional. Whenever you have inversely proportional, the graphs are always curved. So it has to be curved. It can't be discontinuous. So it is only option A. Understood, my dear warriors? Everyone got it? Clear? Shall we go ahead to the next question coming up on your screen? Okay, let's go. What is the next question? It says, consider Young's double slit experiment with monochromatic light of wavelength something, and then the intensity is I0 at that point where the path difference is 600. What would be the intensity of light at a point on the screen where the path difference is 100? Okay, so first of all, if you read the question carefully, see, the path difference is 600 and the wavelength is also 600. So initially the path difference is the wavelength. That means it is constructive interference. That means the intensity is maximum, max intensity, and that maximum intensity is I0. And in fact, if you remember, there is a formula. The max intensity is 4 times the intensity of any of the slit. Intensity of any of the slit. That maximum intensity is given to be I0, not the intensity of the slit. The maximum intensity itself is I0. So guys, this will become 4 times of I. Therefore, the intensity of the slit is I0 divided by 4. That is the first part of the problem. Now, when you take a path difference of 100 nanometers, let's see, when delta x is basically 100, this is basically 1/6 of 600. So therefore, it is lambda divided by 6. So the phase difference produced will be 2 pi divided by lambda into delta x, which is lambda by 6. So lambda cancels, it will become pi by 3 radian. Why do I need the phase difference? Because the intensity formula demands the phase difference. If you remember, the formula is the intensity, the final resultant intensity is I1 plus I2 plus 2 root I1 I2 cos delta phi. Exactly. So what is I1? Where is it? It is basically I0 by 4. This is I0 by 4. Plus this is also I0 by 4. Plus 2 times I0 by 4, I0 by 4 into cos pi by 3. Okay. I0 by 4 I can take it common. I0 by 4 I can take it common. So it will be 1 plus 1 plus 2 into cos 60, which is basically cos 60, which is basically half. Correct. So this will just become 3. So it will become 3 times I0 by 4. 3 I0 by 4 is option number A. Yep, there you go. That is the correct answer. Got it? Clear? Sir, sometimes in the intensity questions we have to use the 4 I0 formula. 4 I0, yes. Yes, Dhruv. That formula is there in NCERT, but I'll tell you what, ignore that formula. Better to remember this formula. See, I'll tell you that intensity formula which is given in NCERT, 4 I0 cos square del phi by 2. This is phase difference, not angle, number 1. I0 here is the intensity of the slit. This is the intensity on the screen. In the given question, the I0 value is not the intensity of the slit. It is the intensity on the screen. So you need to be careful. In the question, I is I0. I0 is something else. You take it anything, I1, I3, I4, whatever. So that creates that confusion. Okay, I hope that is very, very clear. Okay, okay. Raghuik, engineering science at IISER Bhopal. I will have to make a separate video on it. I can't just tell you right now over here. Maybe we can concentrate. Maybe I'll make a separate video. Okay. All right. So moving on to the next question. I hope that was clear. Dhruv, the doubt. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's move. Now there is a parallel plate capacitor. Coefficient of linear expansion is alpha. Temperature increases, the gap is fixed. What will be the change in the capacitance? So obviously the area will change. Area of the plates, it will become more wider because the temperature has increased the area of the plates. Capacitance formula is epsilon naught A by D. So using our error analysis, delta C by C, which is the relative error in C, epsilon and D are constant, so forget it. It will be delta A by A. Delta A is original area into superficial coefficient of expansion into delta T by A. AA gets cancelled, so it will be beta delta T. But areal expansion coefficient is 2 times linear expansion coefficient. So that is your delta C by C. Therefore, our delta C will be, take that C on the other side, 2 alpha C delta T. 2 alpha C delta T, 2 alpha C delta T. Yes, it is the answer over here. Perfect. So there are two options, if you notice, 2 alpha delta C and 2 alpha delta C, but with a minus sign. Why did I choose option number A? Why did I choose option number A? The answer lies over here. If, where is it? Temperature. If the temperature increases, the capacitance directly increases, it does not decrease. So here it is mentioned that the temperature increases. So the area will also increase, the capacitance will also increase. That is why plus sign. Else if it had decreased, then I would have marked the answer as D. Okay, here this is increasing, this is decreasing, which is not correct. It has to increase. Next one. Some body executes SHM with time period T, energy E. What is the magnitude of the maximum acceleration of the body? Okay, think about it. For maximum acceleration, what and all do I need? I will need omega and I will need amplitude. Omega I know because I know time period, but I don't know amplitude. I think I can get amplitude via energy. Energy is given, and energy is half spring constant into amplitude square, and spring constant is m omega square. Okay, mass is given, omega is not given, but time period is given. So it will be 2 pi by T whole square A square, that is energy. So basically A square will be 2E this will be t square, 2 into e into t square divided by m goes down 4 pi square. Okay, so amplitude will be this 2 and this 4 gets cancelled, it will become 2. Okay, it will become 2 by pi root of e by 2m. Just check this out. 2m is there, e is there. Pi square's root is pi, t square's root is t. That is the amplitude. I needed it for solving the problem because maximum acceleration will need the amplitude. Maximum acceleration is a omega square. A is amplitude, which is right over here. T by pi root of e by 2m. Omega is 2 pi by t. So if I use 2 pi by t whole square, so it will become 4 pi square divided by t square. So let's see, 1t gets cancelled, 1 pi gets cancelled. So it will be root of e divided by 2m. 4 is there, 1 pi is there, 1t is also there. Okay, I think I can do one more thing. I can write this 4 as 2 into root 2 into root 2 into pi divided by t. 1 root 2 will get cancelled. So I'll be left with 2 root 2 pi divided by t. Yes, and here we'll have e by m. I think that is option number A, I believe. Yes, it is option number A. Yep. Did you see that? How is k equal to m omega square? Well, let me show you right over here. Just check this out. Time period is 2 pi by omega. Omega is root of k by m. These are the standard formulas, right? I hope you know omega is root of k by m. If you do not know this, then I'll have to tell you one more thing. Time period is 2 pi under root mass by the spring constant, and this is 2 pi by omega. So from here also you can see omega is root of k by m, right? Directly from here. Now you square both sides, you will get omega square is equal to k by m. Therefore, k is equal to m omega square. This is a standard result which you can keep in mind. K is m omega square or omega is root k by m. Once you practice many problems, this results will directly enter your bloodstream. You will remember it. It will become like your muscle memory. Okay. So you just need to practice more questions. That's all. All right. Option number A is correct. Okay. Okay. All right, perfect. Moving on to the next question coming up on your screen. There is a solid metallic sphere having moment of inertia I about diameter. Melted, that means mass remains the same, recasted into a disc of some new radius, same thickness, uniform thickness, and the new moment of inertia about an axis through the edge and perpendicular is also I. What is the ratio R by R? Very interesting question, guys. Very interesting question. Let's see if you guys can think about it. First of all, you had a solid sphere. The radius was R. The moment of inertia will be given by 2 by 5 capital M R square. So the mass will be the same. So it will be 5I by 2 capital R square. Now what I have done, I have taken a disc. And this is not the axis, this is the axis. So about this, by the way, the mass will still remain the same. Radius will remain small r now. It's clearly mentioned, radius of small r. Moment of inertia over here is given by moment of inertia about center of mass plus the shift, which is m into the shift, which is r square. About the center of mass, it is m r square by 2. So plus mr square is basically I. Therefore, this will become 3 by 2 mr square is equal to I. But mass, I think I know it. It is basically 5 times I divided by 2r square. This is small r square is equal to I. I just got cancelled and I want small r by capital R. Therefore, small r square by capital R square will be, I got cancelled, 3 5s are 15, 15 comes down, 2 2s are 4. Therefore small r by capital R taking roots 4's root is 2, root 15's root, sorry, 15's root is root 15. 2 by root 15, which is option number A. So the mass remained the same is the crux of the problem. Second thing is, you should not get confused between small r and capital R. Third thing is, there was parallel axis theorem which was used because it was mentioned it is passing through the edge, and perpendicular to the plane. So I had to use the parallel axis theorem to shift it. Okay. Yes, Raghulik, there will be chemistry class also. Yep, definitely. You're going to have chemistry class as well. Don't worry. Okay. All the classes. By the way, I don't know how many of you have seen this. I have also ensured for your benefit's sake, we also get a class on biology. Yes, you're going to also have a class on biology tomorrow. So how cool is that? So make the best use of this. I mean, like, you're going to have biology, you're going to have maths, chemistry will also follow after this. Don't worry. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're going to have it. Okay, so there is a magnetic needle question which is lying parallel to the field, and the work done to turn it through 60 degrees, the magnitude of the torque needed to maintain the needle at this position will be. Okay, so let's try to solve this. The magnetic needle was aligned, you turn it to through 60 degrees. So if the magnetic field is here, magnetic moment is here, now magnetic moment is here, magnetic field is here, this is 60 degree, this is initial, this is final. So the work done is final potential energy minus initial potential energy, basically the change. Final is minus mb cos 60. Initial is minus mb cos 0, that's the formula. Minus mb cos theta is the potential energy formula. So it will be minus mb cos 60 is half, minus minus becomes plus, so plus mb, mb minus mb by 2 is basically mb by 2, that is your work. So therefore m into b is basically 2 times of w. That is what I get, m into b. I think I will need that later on. Question is, what is the torque? Torque is mb sine theta, sine 60 basically. But mb is basically 2 times w, sine 60 is root 3 by 2, 2 cancels, it will become w root 3. So that is the value of the torque, w root 3, which is option number A. Yes, that is the correct answer. Got it? Yeah. Will biology session be understandable? If you have taken PCMB, yes. If you have not taken PCMB, it will be tough, obviously, because they are not going to keep the questions simple. In IAT exam, at least few PYQs you solve, at least you will get some idea about different things. That's the reason for it. Yeah, I know, Solitude. That's why this channel is purely academically oriented, or else we could have done random dance videos also and I would have got some views, but this is not a dance channel, unfortunately. Okay, so we get our audience, we get our views from pure academics, and that's why students who follow this channel actually do something in life and actually enter into the good colleges, right? So thank you for making this channel this big and loving and supporting us. Thank you for liking also. Moving on to the next one coming up on your screen. The de Broglie wavelength of an electron, wow, this speed is so special because it is exactly half the speed of light, is equal to that of a photon. The ratio of the kinetic energy of the photon to that of the electron is interesting. Interesting. Let's see. Muthu, just check the trailer. Or tomorrow there is a session scheduled, today or tomorrow, JEE 2025. Just check it out. Something is coming up, something is cooking. Just check out. Okay. Stay tuned on the channel. So kinetic energy of the photon to that of the electron. Energy of the photon is just given by hc by lambda. Okay, that is done. What about energy of the electron? Energy of the electron, it is half, or I can say half mv square. I don't want mass, I can do something with it. Okay, so I know lambda is h by mass into velocity, therefore mass is h by lambda v. Substitute it over here, so I will get, instead of mass I will put h by lambda v, and this is v square. So this will become half V square V cancels, it will become hv by lambda. But wait a minute, do you see this velocity is actually c by 2, so why not write it as half into h into c by 2 by lambda. So it is hc by 4 lambda. That is the kinetic energy of the electron. Perfect. I think we got our final clue now. We just have to take the ratio of the photon and the energy of the electron. Photon's energy by the kinetic energy of the electron will be hc by lambda divided by hc by 4 lambda. hc and lambda will get cancelled, 4 will go on the top, it will become 4:1. So which is option number D? Yes, it is option number D. Very nice. Perfecto. Yeah. So, no. 𝑩𝒐𝒑𝒔, don't apply that 𝑩𝒐𝒑𝒔 brain so much now, because relativity, number 1, is not there in this syllabus. Number 2, this has nothing to do with relativity. Mass, understand, can be eliminated because I know the de Broglie formula. So I eliminated mass. You don't have to substitute mass from anywhere. Okay? Right. Yes, Muhu. There is a session which is there right over here. Go to the videos tab. Do you see? Launching soon. J2526, something up is coming. Okay? So stay tuned, guys. Moving on to the next question, guys, coming up on your screen. Get ready for it. Okay, what do we have? Okay, LCR series circuit. The frequency is this much, voltage is this much. When you take out capacitance, the current goes behind the voltage. When take out inductor, the current leads the voltage. The power is how much? Guys, just read this statement once. On taking out capacitor, the current lags the voltage by 30 degree. On taking out inductor, the current leads the voltage by 30 degree. Remember, inductance is on the top, voltage across it, capacitive voltage is below. So each one of them is just diametrically or just opposite in phase. So I think it is a very symmetric scenario. Because of this information, VL will be equal to VC, only then it can happen. Because remember, this is how it works. Voltage across a resistor, this is voltage across inductor, voltage across capacitor. Only when these two are equal, probably your total phase difference, when you remove the next one, is making exactly 30 degrees in each case. This is in the first case, this is in the second case, and all of that. Correct? So this has to be a symmetric scenario. And when VL is equal to VC, what does this mean? It is basically resonating. And in case of resonance, the power is simply V square by R. Voltage is 220, resistance is 200, 22 square is 484, so 2 zeros more and 2 zeros over here, these 2 zeros will cancel. So this will become 242 watts, which is option number A. Direct answer. This understanding was very important, that it is a symmetric circuit, because inductance and capacitance had the same effect. So that means voltages were also same. That's why the phase differences produced were also the same. Yeah. Yep. Yes, Neha, like I said, there is a biology class also which we have scheduled for tomorrow. Yes, biology class is scheduled for tomorrow. Moving on to the next question. There is a long wire of radius A which carries some current I. The current is distributed across the cross section. The ratio of the field at A by 2 and 2A. So first of all, when you are at A by 2, basically you are inside. And the magnetic field inside is given by mu naught I x divided by 2 pi radius square. So here x is itself A by 2. Radius is basically A. So this will become mu naught I by 4 pi A. Now when you go outside, when this is 2A, 2A is more than the radius A. So this is basically outside. The magnetic field outside is given by mu naught I by 2 pi x. So this will be mu naught I by 2 pi into 2A, which is mu naught I divided by 4 pi A. Oh, both of them are same. Can you see that, guys? Can you see that? Both of them coincidentally came out to be the same. So the ratio should be 1:1. Yes, the answer is 1. The ratio will be the same. I mean, both quantities are same. So the ratio will be 1:1. Sanjana, I am at my home in the home studio. Okay. Moving on to the next question coming up on your screen. A spring balance reads 2 kg with a block suspended from it. Another balance reads 5 kg when the beaker in the liquid is put on the pan of that balance when the block is immersed in water is how much? Okay. So I'll tell you what this question means. So there is a block and the spring balance is reading 2 kg. So the block's mass is 2 kg. Then you have a beaker with some liquid in it and you put it on a pan. That pan reads how much? 5 kg. Now both of these things happen together. You are suspending that block in that particular liquid like this. Okay, in that particular liquid like this. Then what will be the reading shown? See guys, not only will that 5 kg come into play, but there is also a buoyant force on the block. Who applies the buoyant force? The liquid. So by Newton's third law, the reaction should be applied by the block on the liquid. So the buoyant force on the liquid will be downwards. So there is an additional force downwards. That's why the reading will be more than 5 kg. The reading will be more than 5 kg. So this buoyant force is on the liquid by the block, which is basically the reaction, Newton's laws of motion. A lot of people miss this part. They think that, buoyant force only acts on the solid, but actually the reaction also acts on the liquid. Keep this in mind. Yep. I hope this is clear. Yes, Neha, there is. I hope you have read the or gone through the strategy video which I made yesterday. Please go through the strategy video. Okay, I just made it yesterday. There are 4 subjects in it. Where did it go? Everything about IAT. I have mentioned it very clearly in this strategy video. What are the subjects? How many minimum marks you need to get? What are the cutoffs? Everything. The timing, what you should do, how many papers you should solve, everything I have mentioned. So that is the reason why you need to also go through the biology part. Alright. So moving on to the next one. 2 diodes are there and they are connected to the battery as shown in the figure. The current supplied by the battery is how much? That is the question. I think one of the diode is in reverse bias and that is this one. So forget this diode. So the current will go like this, like this, like this, forward bias, like this, and back here, no other resistance. So the current will be the total voltage by the total resistance, which is 5 divided by 10, which is basically 0.5 amperes, which is option B. Yes, that is the correct answer. That is the correct answer. Yep. Is that clear, everyone? Very straightforward. Shall we go ahead to the next one? Okay, here it comes. What is it? 2 full turns of the circular scale of a screw gauge cover 1 millimeter distance on the main scale. Total divisions on the circular scale is 50. From this, I can understand 2 full turns, circular scale is 50, is going 1 millimeter. That means the least count will be, which is basically the pitch upon the circular scale divisions. Because 2 full rotations make it go by 1 millimeter, 1 rotation will make it go by 0.5 millimeters. So it will be 0.5 millimeters is the pitch by the circular scale divisions is 50. So it will be 0.01 millimeters. That is your least count of the circular scale. Now comes the reading part. It is clearly mentioned there is 0 error also and the diameter is measured and the main scale reading, everything is given. So the reading is main scale reading plus the least count multiplied by the circular scale reading. Main scale reading is 3 millimeters. Least count is 0.01 millimeters. Circular scale reading is 35. So this will become 3.35 millimeters. But you need to be careful. There is also 0 error over here. So it is negative. So you add it. So the final diameter, you will have to add it. When there is negative, you add. When there is positive, you subtract. So you are going to add 0.03 millimeters to get to the final answer. So the final diameter will be 3.38 millimeters. That is the answer. Yes, option number A is the correct one. Sometimes the questions again, like I said, look very big, but actually if you see the solution, it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. Okay, let's move to the next one. Two wires are made of the same material, same volume. Interesting. Cross section is different. That means length will be different because volume is same, area is different. So length will be different. If one increases by delta x, how much force is needed for the second wire to increase the length by the same amount? Let's start with the basic definition of Young's modulus, which is stress by strain. Stress is force by area. Strain is change in length by original length. So therefore force will be Y A by L into X. I don't want length. I don't want length because length is not given. In fact, length will be volume divided by area. Volume divided by area. Think about it. Volume is area into length. So length will be volume divided by area. Why did I do that? Because volume is same, area is different. So rearrange this. This will become Yx divided by volume into A square. That is your force. Clearly, you can see the force is directly proportional to A square. Force is directly proportional to A square. So if the area 1 to area 2 is 3, 1:3 ratio, it has become 3 times. A square will become how many times? 9 times. So the force will also become 9 times. You will need 9 times more force than the previous one. So the answer is B. Directly you can go. So it is proportional to A square is the catch, and that comes only because of this keyword, which is same volume. And remember, volume is area into length. Therefore, length is volume divided by area, which I have substituted over here. Volume divided by area. Got it? Very, very interesting question coming up on your screen. All right, next one. Electron and proton are moving on straight parallel paths, same speed. They enter a semi-infinite region, magnetic field, perpendicular. Okay, which of the following is true? They will never come out, they will come out, they will come out at same time, they will come out at different times. Let's understand what exactly happens. Okay, first of all, see guys, if you have a charged particle of some mass moving with some speed and it is going like this and it enters a region of magnetic field like this, it enters a region of magnetic field like this, what happens? It goes in a circular path and then again it comes out from here. So the time it spends over here is the total time of revolution by 2, which is 2 pi m by qb and into half. 2 gets cancelled. It is basically pi m divided by qb. Now clearly it is mentioned in the problem, one is an electron, one is a proton. So obviously mass is different, charge is different. So this ratio is also different. So the time that it spends is also different, and it will eventually, it is going to come out, but they will come out at different times. So option D should be the most appropriate option. It is coming out, it takes a U-turn, okay, but it will come out at different times because masses and the charges, actually charge is same magnitude wise, it's just that, you know, the sign is different. So if you want, you can probably say, let's forget the charge for a moment. I mean, the directions will be only different, but the masses are definitely different magnitude wise. So definitely the time taken will be different. Okay, cool. Shall we go ahead? Shall we go ahead? All right, let's go. What is this? A block of certain mass is going on a smooth surface, collides with a spring, compresses it by 50 centimeter. What is the maximum momentum? Okay, so right now the block has maximum momentum. All the energy gets converted into the spring energy. So I can just say the kinetic energy gets converted into the spring potential energy. So mass is 4, velocity don't know, 2 has cancelled, spring constant 4, compression 50 centimeter, which is half a meter whole square. So 4 gets cancelled, so V square is equal to half square. So V is basically half meters per second. But that is not the question. Question is, what is the maximum momentum? So maximum momentum is there initially, because after that it compresses, it loses the momentum. So the maximum momentum is mass into velocity, which is 4 into half, which is 2 kg meter per second, which is option number A. Yes, that is the correct option. Very good. Awesomeness. Awesome. Okay, so we have come to the end of the session. This is one of the homework questions. You solve this. Answer is there on the next slide. I'll be sharing the PDF in some time on our Telegram channel. I think this is another question which you can solve. Again, the answer is there on the next slide. I'll share the PDF on the Telegram channel. Telegram channel link is there in the description box. Yes. So make sure you have liked the session. You comment on the session. Only then we can have more sessions on biology, chemistry, mathematics. Okay. Everybody comment, everybody like and subscribe to the channel. And also remember one important thing as you are watching this video. By the way, first of all, for 2025 and 2026, something amazing is going to be coming up very soon. And tomorrow you have the biology session and as well as the math session. You can see this is the strategy session which I have conducted yesterday. And in this particular description box only, you have the link for joining the Telegram channel. This is the link for joining our Telegram channel. Okay, that's where you'll be getting the PDF. And the test series link is right over here. You can see 10 full syllabus tests. All right, is there right over here. Yeah, ISER aptitude test series is there. This particular link is there right over here. Okay, so you can click on this particular link and buy this particular test series for additional practice. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great time. It was lovely seeing all of you for one more amazing class of 2024. So all the very best. This was Captain Shreyas signing off. Thank you for liking. Bye bye.